You previously called for severe limits to population growth in Canada. Can you clarify what you mean by that?
So, first of all, I'll tell you what I don't mean, which is natural population growth. That is almost non-existent in Canada. We have roughly the same number of people who die as who are born. So all of our population growth, in fact, in the last quarter, I think there were more deaths than births. So what I am referring to is migration, net migration. We have millions of people whose permits will expire over the next couple of years, and many of them will leave. We need to ensure that more leave than come in over the next couple of years while we catch up. Well, housing, healthcare, and jobs can catch up. We've had population growth of roughly 1 million a year under the Liberals, while we barely build 200,000 homes. Our job market is stalled, and yet we're adding more people to the workforce. Our young people are facing generational highs in unemployment because the multinational corporations are giving jobs to low-wage temporary foreign workers and that ultimately leave our young people without opportunities. Our country is divided, and we're not able to integrate people at this pace. So in order to fix the problem, we need to put very hard caps on immigration levels. We need more people leaving than coming for the next couple of years. And so our country can actually catch up. Our immigration policy should invite the right people in the right numbers in a way that puts Canada and...
Canada is doing mass deportations right now. Again, they have been doing it again and again, and they are doing it right now. Canada has just also stopped their temporary protected status. The question I am hearing people are saying is that one of the reasons he is saying is people come into the country in the name of they are going to school and they will not go to school. That is what is happening outside there in Canada. Canada is doing mass deportations. Immigrants are leaving. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Please, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscription button. If you love content like this and you want to keep seeing me, turn on your notifications, because right here, right now, we talk about deportations, what is going on outside there. Please, let's just continue watching these clips to see what they are saying.
Do you genuinely want, Vinny Ashana, want 20 million people removed from the country?
Piers, I'm going to tell you something right now. Yup. Okay, and when you guys say stuff like, who voted for this? 77 million people voted for mass deportation. And Piers, I am so sorry. It's not just criminals. It's everyone that came here illegally, from a murderer to a freaking Uber driver who's taking American jobs, Piers. My mother, my grandfather, my family from both sides came here and they waited. They did it the freaking legal way, and we're all doing well, okay? We came here the right way. Why does anybody get a pass, Piers? Why is it? Why is it? It's everybody, okay? A sovereign nation gets to pick who stays and who leaves. And just a quick, fun little fact, Piers, because nobody likes to talk about facts. Did you know that murder is down 20%, the most it's ever been in 1 year? Why is that, Piers? Fentanyl overdose, heroin overdose. There's so many percentages that are down, and everybody, I think it was the New York Times, was like baffled. They're like, what could this be? How could it happen? This is what the real Americans voted for, Piers.
Good morning, Mr. Polyev. David Menzies with Rebel News.
Mr.
Polyev, you recently said that any foreign nationals who are convicted of anti-Semitic crimes in Canada should be deported. But that is a very high bar. There have been very few arrests and very few prosecutions over the past 16 months. Indeed, according to police and prosecutors, the anti-Semitic encampments at universities were not crimes. Shouting for a new intifada and promoting genocide are not considered criminal. Question: would you be open to reviving Stephen Harper's ban on the glorification of terrorism?
Thank you. We're going to be releasing our election platform once the writ is dropped and the election is called. So you'll have to wait until then for those sorts of final decisions and commitments. But what I've made clear is that we have to reverse the hate and division that has been unleashed in this country over the last 10 years. The radical woke agenda that Justin Trudeau instituted and that Mark Carney has said explicitly he wants to continue has divided our people. He's broken people up into different ethnic, religious, cultural groups and turned them against each other. Liberals have deliberately divided community against community for electoral gain, and they have put in place an ideology that obsesses about every single possible ethnocultural division. And what is the result? A 251% increase in violent hate crime under this last decade of the Trudeau-Carney Liberals. So I will end that radical woke ideology. I will treat every single Canadian equally. We will cut off the funds that have gone to anti-Semitic groups and to other hate mongers. We will pass tough new laws that punish people who vandalize or attack places of worship. We will deport foreign nationals who are in this country that engage in violence or law breaking of any kind, including anti-Semitic violence. And we will ban every single terrorist group that's operating here. We'll find and deport all of the IRGC thugs. There are apparently 700 IRGC thugs who are in Canada today, operating with impunity, who are not citizens. They're spending the stolen money that they took from the Iranian people while they instigate divisions on our grounds in this country. They will be kicked out of this country. We're going to put our country first. And finally, our approach is going to be that we are all Canadians. Every Canadian will be Canadian first. We can come from anywhere in the world. You can have any religious background you want. At the end of the day, we need a common identity with a common loyalty that puts that flag above everything else.
Thank you. This will be the final question from Oxygen TV. Good morning. We find that in your plan, you encourage investment and less spending. We find Mr. Mark Carney put in his slogan that invest more and spend less. We also encourage to remove all barriers for trade between provinces. We find the same thing Mr. Mark Carney included in his plan to remove barriers. So my question is, do you see any kind of imitations or copy and paste? And your comment, please. Thank you.
Well, I noticed that Mr. Carney uses a lot of slogans. He has been sloganeering his entire leadership campaign while I've been laying out real concrete policy plans. For example, his only two announcements on policy have been slogans. One, he wants to rename the carbon tax, and two, he wants to rename spending. The irony is that his record as part of the Trudeau government as the top economic advisor has been to spend more and invest less. Investment has crashed under the Carney-Trudeau Liberals, while spending has exploded. That is the actual record. It is the opposite of his slogan. We have, right now, today in Canada, 55 cents of investment per worker for every dollar the American worker gets. So this is the record after Carney-Trudeau. An American worker gets $28,000 of investment per year. A Canadian worker gets $15,000 of investment per year, both measured in American dollars. What does that mean? It means the American worker is getting more machines, more technology, bigger and better factories than his Canadian counterpart, so that even though the Canadian worker is better, he has worse tools. That is because investment has collapsed under the Carney-Trudeau Liberals. In the 5 years Carney has been Trudeau's advisor on economic matters, $500 billion of Canadian investment has left to the States more than has come back. And that means American workers are getting better off and our economy is being left in the dust. I will repeal the Carney-Trudeau No New Pipelines Law C-69. I will make this the fastest place in the OECD to get a building permit. I will slash taxes on work, investment, savings, energy, home building, and making stuff in Canada so that we can bring home the hundreds of billions of dollars of investment for new machines, tools, technology, home building. We're going to unleash a massive boom in this country that will boost paychecks, and it will also bring home the Canadian promise that hard work gets you a great life in a beautiful home on a safe street, protected by solid borders and brave soldiers under a proud flag.
In response to the imposition of American tariffs by President Donald Trump, Canadians have taken to booing the American national anthem at sporting events. We saw this at the first Four Nations Face-Off event, which you attended. Some argue that the booing is justified, while others argue that it is disrespectful. So, at the next Four Nations Face-Off match and at future sporting events, should Canadians boo the American anthem or refrain from doing so?
I would focus on cheering on Canadians. I want Canadians to win. I enjoyed the game. Unfortunately, did not enjoy the outcome when I sat down with my little boy, Cruz. It was his first in-person hockey game, and my wife, Anna, was there. My retirement plan is for little Cruz to become an NHL hockey player, so we wanted to get him started early on that. I would just encourage everyone to remember that our disagreement is not with the American people, it's with the American president's unjustified threats of tariffs. And let's focus on building our own country up. You know, Mark Carney took his headquarters out of Canada. The media has been covering this up. The first thing he did after Trump won re-election was to take his headquarters, his corporate headquarters, and send it to New York. So he doesn't have to pay all the taxes that he and Mr. Trudeau have been imposing on business here in Canada. I will do the exact opposite of Carney. I will bring the jobs home to this country and put our country first. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, Y Media.
This is Shubi from Y Media. Canadians are looking for a prime minister to show them leadership. So how is Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's plan and Liberal leader different to the Liberal leader candidate Mark Carney's plan? How's it different?
Oui, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. So here's the difference. Mark Carney, who has been Justin Trudeau's economic advisor for the last 5 years, would bring in tens of billions of dollars of new spending. He would bring in a massive post-election carbon tax on Canadian industry that will drive jobs to the south of the border. He would continue with the policies that have doubled housing costs, doubled food bank use over the last 9 years. Electing a fourth Liberal government in a row will not change what the previous 3 Liberal governments did. You need a new, common-sense Conservative government that will pass a massive bring-it-home tax cut that will to incentivize bringing back the $500 billion of investment Liberals drove to the United States so that Canadians can build factories, pipelines, mines, LNG plants, technology, and countless other assets that generate income for our people on this side of the border. We will go from having the worst economic growth in the G7 under Carney Trudeau over the last 5 years to having the best economic growth in the G7. We will repeal the unconstitutional No New Pipelines Law, C-69, so that we can take back control of our energy and our resources. We can ship Canadian energy to Canadian workers, to Canadian businesses in this country we all call Canada. Liberals will drive jobs and investment away. Conservatives.
Listen to this.
We must deport from our country any temporary resident that is here on a permit or a visa that is carrying out violence or hate crimes on our soil.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do we even have to clap about this? If you come into a country as a temporary resident and you commit a violent crime, you should know you're getting deported. It's literally common sense. I don't know how this doesn't make any sense to people. I am so glad to hear Pierre Poilievre speak common sense and put Canadian citizens and the safety of our families first.
Canadians deserve to know what is the deal that the Prime Minister at first planned to accept and then later decided to reject. Release the proposed text. Let's be clear, there are no national secrets in that text. It's already been shown to the United States administration. The President has seen it, his negotiators have seen it, The United States has seen it. Canadians deserve to see it. We're asking him to release the details of what was proposed in that agreement, so that we can find out both what our government was fighting to achieve and what the Americans were demanding, and what it is that was unacceptable and required we walk away. Transparency is essential, especially important after the government gave false information about the Gordie Howe Bridge. The truth only became known after the agreement was released. Canadians deserve to know what was on the table, so all of us can know what we are fighting for and what we are fighting.
Oh my, is Pierre hinting at mass deportation?
On security. About a week ago, Justin Trudeau admitted that he broke our immigration system, and that brings new challenges. His own published documents show there are 4.9 million people here temporarily
10% of the population.
that are supposed to leave by December 31st of next year, 13 months from now. 4.9 million people. We asked what the plan was to track their departures, and yesterday his immigration minister said, we're just going to take people at their word. He admits that there have been 2 ISIS terrorists allowed into our country. What is the plan to protect our security and reinstate sovereignty over who is in our country?
Take this from an immigrant that was born in a third world country. Any documentation you can think of, driver's license, name, identity, whether I went to university, high school, whether I graduated from anything, whether I was a, lawyer in my country, whether I was a doctor, I can buy all that for a few $100s. Very, very easy. Now, I've heard this from my own friends that are from India. It's much cheaper there. Corruption is fully accessible to everyone. All you need is a little bit of this, and that is part of what we have that's an issue in our country. You cannot trust the documentation that people bring along with them into this country. That's the reality of a third world country and why we have so many, problematic people in our country. It should be a one strike, you're out. As soon as you commit a criminal offense, big or small, you're out of here.
It's very simple. If you break our laws when you're here as a visitor, we kick you out. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. If someone shows up in our country claiming to be a student or a temporary worker and they start firebombing coffee shops, bakeries, synagogues, or any other place, then they need to be immediately arrested and they need to be deported. If someone is obviously a citizen, they should be prosecuted through our legal system and put in prison here in Canada for those sorts of crimes. But there's no excuse for keeping people in this country who are visitors here on a temporary visa or permit if they're breaking our laws.
What about people who are here illegally? What about people who have entered the country illegally or who have come to the country, applied for asylum claim, had that rejected, but remain in Canada? Would you deport those people?
Yes, that's supposed to be the policy right now. If someone comes in, makes a false asylum claim, it gets rejected, they're supposed to leave today. The challenge that we're going to face is that under 9 years of the Carney-Trudeau Liberals' open border policies, we have now millions of people whose permits are going to expire over the next sort of 2 years. And if they don't leave, we have a very hard time, first of all, even knowing they're still here, finding them, and then carrying out a deportation. There are some among them that we do want to keep. They could be a master's graduate in computer engineering that has a 6-figure job in Kitchener-Waterloo, started a family, integrated, speaks the language. This is someone we want to keep.
Yep.
But we need to be able to make that decision ourselves through selection based on these criteria, not just by accident because people who are not eligible to stay decide they're not.
You have what you have seen. They are deporting in Canada. It's not only the USA. Deportations are going on right now in Canada. Are you safe? I know you want to tell me you have temporary protected status. They are revoking it. It is going down. People are asked to go back to their countries to build their countries. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section what you think about this. And if you are one of the people that have been deported, let me know. because I sympathize with you. I always sympathize with you. But then again, the truth is you have to go back to your country. You have to go start up a life there. Thank you for watching this episode with me, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notifications if you want to see me more, because trust me, you definitely want to see me another time. And don't forget to check my channel for more episodes. I will see you in my next episode. Bye.